Look out, Wright brothers. Today, Joe is visiting an Oregon company that has created a brand new class of aircraft. It's not a plane, a blimp, or a helicopter, and its creators say it could be the future of flight.
In this Wilsonville warehouse, you can feel a buzz in the air. A new spin on an old science, and it's ready for liftoff.
This is a small-scale prototype of the future of aviation.
You're looking at a Carangi Airship. Carangi is a Northwest company that specializes in LTA, or lighter-than-air, technology.
Normally, people think of blimps and hot air balloons. This is like a sailboat that flies.
CEO Michael Warren is trying to build public interest in Carangi's unique LTA design.
You've got a gimbal gyro that's got dual pitch. Pretty much goes in any direction.
It was patented 8 years ago, and since then, the company has been building different ships and fine-tuning the product. Now, Warren says it's ready for market. This is the company's newest ship. It can hover inches from the ground or climb to greater heights.
Oh, this one's been up to 10,000 feet. It will do 100 feet up in 4 seconds.
There's a lot of scientific terms to digest, but the bottom line for these airships is the design. The ship is lifted by helium, which is stored in vertical cylinders. Warren says that shape makes the Carangi much more efficient than other forms of flight.
The Rose Garden's got an airship that flies inside there. It carries around 1.5 pounds of payload. We use a third less gas. We can carry around 9 pounds of payload.
So what exactly are the uses for a Carangi Airship? Well, right now the company says they can be used for advertising at indoor events, and eventually larger models will deliver payloads to remote areas and even collect footage for movies or TV shows. Hi, Mom.
Our goal is to get one 70 feet tall, lifting 3,500 pounds, including people, and start carrying payloads up to Alaska and Canada, taking care of what the ice road truckers can only do 6 weeks out of the year.
But before that can happen, Carangi needs to spread its message that this is a technology that deserves people's attention and, of course, money.
The ideal thing is not for us to end up selling these. We want to license these to different industries.
So from flying cameras to floating billboards, Michael Warren says Carangi is ready to change the face of flight and the way we reach for the sky.
It's the oldest form of flight known to man, but the one that we haven't figured out. I think this is it.
With this group, the conversation is lively yet quiet, spirited yet silent. They call it a deaf coffee chat, a monthly meeting at Starbucks where the only language spoken is sign. It started 2 years ago, growing every month. The reason? Simple. Now, this event isn't just a place for deaf people to meet up. It's also a place where the non-deaf can come and learn about sign language. He's talking about people like Chan Lewis, a student at SAC studying to become an American Sign Language translator.
The deaf community, they're such nice people, and especially when they meet someone who's wanting and who's willing to learn more about sign, you know, it makes them happy.
Now, if there's one thing the folks here stress, it's that hearing or non-hearing, we're not that different. And the places where we are different aren't so bad.
They have a culture. It's a unique culture to me, I think, and it's a wonderful and it's a beautiful culture.
And so the words keep flying well into the night as the group awaits more voices to join the conversation. And the Deaf Coffee Chat is held at the Alamo Heights Starbucks on Broadway the third Tuesday of every month. For more info, go to deafcoffee.com. And hey, folks, if you got a story for the night shift, call me at the station, 442-6350, or email nightshift@kbb.com.
This weekend, The Simpsons will air its 500th episode on Fox. Recently, Joe met the inspiration for one of the show's most colorful characters.
Don't be scared of thunder. It's nothing but a great big sound.
the song in his heart could always bring a smile to a face.
I think it was the fact that I was making people happy. I lived off of the laughter.
His name is Jim Allen, but for a generation of Oregonians, he will always be Rusty Nails, Portland's legendary TV clown.
My main following today is those in the 40s, 40-year-olds and so forth, because that reflects back to those early days of television.
Jim began clowning at the ripe age of 9, a Portland kid who grew up admiring the performers he saw in circuses and rodeos.
Oh, hello there, children.
In 1957, his career went beyond the big top, hosting a Portland TV show that would run for 16 years.
I would do some slapstick, which is a physical comedy, and we would throw in a cartoon now and then. Pies in the face, which I utterly despise. I never did get used to getting a pie in the face.
Rusty Nails became one of Portland's first television stars.
Funny thing happened to me on the way to a muscular dystrophy carnival.
Rubbing elbows with legends like Jerry Lewis.
And then the Simpsons came along, and I thought, oh boy.
Jim can still remember when he met a teenager named Matt Groening.
He told me one time, he says, I'm designing a cartoon program of different characters, and he says, I'm thinking of designing one after you.
Yes, Rusty the Clown was the inspiration for Krusty the Clown, Springfield's resident funny man.
Hey, hey!
Although when you get past the floppy shoes and red noses, the two are nothing alike. Rusty, when not clowning, is a Baptist minister who has always tried to be a positive role model for kids, while Krusty is immoral in just about every way.
Shut your hole!
I didn't know in those early days that Krusty was an ornery little character.
Still, Jim bears no ill will towards his animated alter ego. He says, like Rusty Nails, The Simpsons provides a valuable service.
To keep them laughing. People need comedy and laughing more today than ever before.
And while his clowning days are behind him, today Jim Allen is still making him smile through episodes of Krusty and memories of Rusty. For this clown, that's one tremendous legacy of laughter.
It's an honor that people will remember you.
The times may change, but not his technique.
It hasn't changed in thousands of years.
And while the flame feels hot, Larry William keeps cool, year after year after year.
You can afford neither a temper nor a temperament. This is because you have to work, something breaks, well, so what? That's it.
For 59 years, Larry has operated his glass-blowing studio in La Villita. And what may look like beautiful art, he calls another day at the office.
Well, I've never regarded it as an art. I regarded it as a trade. So it just seemed like something I wanted to do.
His story begins in 1938, when as a 19-year-old, Larry worked as a glassblower's apprentice. After serving in World War II, he returned to San Antonio in 1947.
The Red Cross had all of this La Villita during World War II, and they were just moving out, so they wanted to open shops. I was the second tenant here. The first one was a potter by the name of Jonathan Newcomb, a woman, but she stayed only about 6 months or so, but I continued. I've been here ever since.
As the years passed, Larry saw La Villita expand. He was there for Hemisphere in 1968, and he watched the Riverwalk become the state's top attraction. All that time, he worked alone, presenting works of beauty with his signature modesty.
I have no artistic pretensions.
Larry's time in La Villita will end next month. He plans to retire February 1st, and the shop will close for good.
People retire for there's only one of two reasons. Either they're forced out. The other reason is they'd rather be doing something else.
In Larry's case, it's the latter. He will put his tools away and pursue other hobbies, from operating an amateur radio to learning new languages.
I have been for many years, and I'm not reading Chinese as fast as I would like to.
And with his trademark humility, Larry says he will look back fondly at his years in old San Antonio, when you could always find beauty inside a glass house.
It's a living.